I just love when there's news about Xbox grabbing a new studio or when there's a secret unannounced game being hinted at. I love talking about these things because it's honestly one of the best things that's going on in the gaming industry. Right now, all over the gaming world, companies like Google, Amazon, Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, and Tencent are all trying to do one thing, which is grab studios so they can make games for their specific platform or platforms. And one of the biggest companies doing that is obviously Microsoft, who's gone above and beyond the Call of Duty to their fans. They have more than tripled their first-party output the last 2.5 years. They bought so many studios back in 2018, and for the most part, people figured we'd never see anything like that again. But as time went on and Microsoft kept buying more and more studios, everyone around the gaming world almost thought it was normal for Microsoft to buy any developer out there, especially when the acquisition of Bethesda happened and everyone around the gaming world went crazy. And in a very recent interview, Phil Spencer talked about the Bethesda purchase and also talked about investing more in not only studios but also games. Now that's the part I want to focus on, because while I love Xbox for investing in the first party content like their competitors have, I always said that I think they have a couple of secret Xbox games in the works with second party developers. Things that aren't announced and games they're keeping very close to the vest so they don't have to announce anything until it's ready to go out. But at the same time, they'll use the first party games to keep people's thirst for new games quenched. It's a balancing act, and I have to admit, Xbox has really done a great job launching the Xbox Series X, but also keeping people excited for the prospect of new exclusive AAA games. And that's what this video is going to concentrate on. We're going to look into what a respected insider had to say about an unannounced AAA Xbox game being made by Xbox's publishing team, but also dive into what Phil Spencer had to say about investing in even more studios that they might acquire. So let's get into this article and this rumor, because I can't wait to see what the future holds for Xbox as a platform, especially with the new Xbox Series X finally here. Let's get into it. But first, like always, if you like the video, hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support is greatly appreciated. Alright, let's get into this interview by Phil Spencer where he talks about the reaction they had with Bethesda and what that means for the future of Xbox. And not only about the studios they bought, but also the studios they're looking into, which it would seem isn't a Japanese studio like it was reported before. If everyone remembers, a few videos ago, I talked about a Japanese studio that Microsoft might be looking into, or multiple studios they're looking into in the Japanese space. Well, Phil Spencer probably heard that same exact rumor and decided to comment on it, saying they're not looking into these studios, which the article mentions here. Because of the current success of Microsoft acquisitions, such as the acquisition of Bethesda parent ZeniMax Media, which will see upcoming games such as Deathloop and Starfield come to Game Pass on day one, Spencer said Microsoft would absolutely have to consider further acquisitions, even though they're not currently shopping around for Japanese developers at least. So before I get into the positive feedback they got for the Bethesda acquisition, I do have to talk about the Japanese developer rumors. So the one thing I do have to say is that Microsoft is surely always looking into new studios, no matter the region they're in. But I think what some people might have missed is that Xbox already has a huge AAA studio in Japan, which is Tango Gameworks, the studio that was owned by ZeniMax, who is now owned by Xbox. So maybe instead of investing in one studio in Japan, Xbox killed two birds with one stone when they bought ZeniMax. So this is in a way how Xbox got a strong foothold of developers in an area they don't have great relationships in. So now they can find and help cultivate relationships and talent in Japan with this new studio that they got through ZeniMax. So that's why I think they might not be looking into getting new studios in that region. But next is the very positive reaction they got from Bethesda and what it means for them as developers and publishers. Now, of course, they got an awesome reaction. I mean, how could they not? Buying so many studios and showing that much investment in gaming just screams dedication to the gaming platform of Xbox, which will please millions upon millions of gamers. And it's something that shows Xbox will continue to invest in games for their platform and provide gamers a steady stream of content, which is something that Phil Spencer says right here. In terms of continuing to invest in new studios and new games and new content, absolutely we have to do that. It's important that we continue to build out the library of games that are available on Xbox. We'll double the size of our studio's organization when we added Bethesda, and we're going to continue to invest in great games so that people can find their next favorite game on our platform. So I love the fact that he mentions that they doubled the size of their studio's organization when they bought Bethesda, because that's exactly what they did. And it's a great way to show fans you're going to invest in gaming and in the Xbox platform. But it's also great to see that Phil Spencer continues to say they're going to invest in great games so they can keep people coming to their platform. To be more precise, he said they want people to find their next favorite game on their platform. Now, that's the line I keep hearing Phil Spencer and a bunch of other executives in the Xbox family keep saying, and it's something that sounds like certain things might be exclusive, especially new games. So when you find your next favorite game from Bethesda, the Initiative, or the Coalition, or whatever other first-party developer under the Xbox Game Studio umbrella, you're going to find that game on the Xbox platform. And that to me speaks volumes, especially since a lot of people think first-party Xbox games might go to other platforms. I actually just made a video about this regarding Bethesda and where their games might go. So you know what? There's a lot of things being said, and we just have to wait and see where all the pieces of the puzzle fall into place. But that's a discussion for another day, and something I have a feeling we'll talk about a lot in the coming year or so, especially since the Bethesda deal isn't done yet, which the article mentions here. Spencer called reactions to the Bethesda acquisition great, but noted that in a situation similar to Take-Two's recent acquisition agreement with Codemasters, while an agreement has been reached, the actual sale is expected to go through in early 2021. Having them become part of Xbox, I think, will just be an amazing opportunity with the great games that they'll continue to build, Spencer said. And there you have it. Phil Spencer and a lot of other executives in Xbox have repeatedly said that they can't really talk about Bethesda games because they just don't have the deal done yet, which prevents them from talking openly about it. But what they can talk about is the investment in new AAA games and great games that people want to play. And where Xbox wants people to play those games is Game Pass, like Phil Spencer says here. This means Game Pass will continue to be a solid investment for players. When asked what he'll tell people who worry about reduced game revenues for developers due to Game Pass on the other hand, Spencer said that subscription models are a new business model, just like free-to-play was a new business model at some point, and that people didn't think could work. Spencer added that Microsoft continued to be interested in all kinds of games from indies to big AAA titles. He once again managed to dodge the question about Skate 4 though. The first line of that quote stating that Game Pass will continue to be a solid investment for players is the best way to describe that service, because the sole main reason we know that Xbox will continue to invest in new studios is because they want Game Pass to be the best business model in gaming. They want to make even more money from that service, and they're doubling down on it. Just like Phil Spencer said right here, it's a business model just like free-to-play is a business model. And this model does help Xbox make even more games because it requires them to do just that. No one, and I mean no one, would subscribe to Game Pass if there wasn't any games on there. And I'm not talking about just first-party only games like some people cling to. I'm talking all kinds of games. They need third-party games to be a presence on the platform, much like they did with the EA Play deal that honestly pushes Game Pass to even greater heights. But what they need to really make Game Pass unique is first-party along with second-party games that are exclusive to the platform. And that's something that Phil Spencer talked about, saying they want to invest in not only indies, but AAA titles. Which brings me to Clobrio, who's a very respected insider and always, and I mean always, has his ear to the ground when it comes to Xbox. Well, he found something on LinkedIn that mentions Xbox is working on an unannounced AAA game. Here's what's said. It seems like Xbox Game Studios Publishing is working on an exciting new AAA open world title yet to be announced. The post here references this. As narrative director on the Xbox Game Studios publishing team, oversee all narrative-related elements for multiple Xbox first-party franchises, most recently the critically acclaimed Microsoft Flight Simulator, and an exciting new AAA open-world title yet to be announced. Alright, this is something I've talked about for a very long time and have hinted at it on multiple videos for probably a year or so. I've mentioned that Xbox probably has a lot of exclusive second-party deals with developers from all over the world, and some of those deals came to light with the Medium, the Ascent, and a bunch of those games we saw in the May and July event, but I always thought that they had a AAA game being hidden until they were ready to show it off. I say show it off because I don't think they want another debacle like they had with Scalebound and Crackdown 3, where the development and announcements of that game weren't very well received. So I think when it comes to second-party deals with non-first-party studios like the Xbox Studios publishing team tends to do, Xbox wants to keep those games secret until they feel the game is getting close to release. With that said, I have no idea what this game is and what studio is making it, but I have a feeling it's going to be announced next year to help push the Xbox Series X in the holiday season of 2021, where sales are going to ramp up a lot. You throw in the unannounced Bethesda game and a couple of other deals they might have up their sleeves, and you can see what the first couple of years on the Xbox platform is going to be stacked. Which makes me happy that Phil Spencer is not just talking about investing in new games, but he's showing us gamers that's exactly what they're doing with all these new games that are yet to be announced. And the main reason this is happening is because of Xbox Game Pass, which is single-handedly changing the way games are being played and distributed around the gaming world. Let's hope the investment continues and we get to see some of these investments soon, because I know a lot of people can't wait to see new games being announced for the Xbox platform. But enough of what I think about all of this. Tell me what you think about all of this. What studios do you think Xbox is investing in? Will Xbox look into Japanese studios, or is Phil Spencer really not looking into them anymore? Will Bethesda games be exclusive to the Xbox platform? What other AAA game do you think is going to be announced? What second-party studio could Xbox possibly be working with on this AAA game? Do you think Game Pass is going to have a AAA game come out every other month on the platform? How many more studios could Xbox have by the end of the year in 2021? Go down below and let me know. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support helps out the channel more than you know. And give me a follow on Twitter at Zalker87. I'm always on there talking games and sharing my latest videos. Plus, I love interacting with everyone there, so get on Twitter and let's talk about gaming. Also, follow me on Xbox Live. My gamer tag is Zalker87, just like my channel name. See what games I'm playing, and let's compete in achievements for the month. Right now, I'm playing Watch Dogs Legion. I'm playing a lot of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. I'm playing the multiplayer a lot with a lot of friends, having a really good time with that. And honestly, the game's actually really fun. I like it a lot more than Modern Warfare. I feel like it's optimized a little better, and I just like the way the game feels. The shooting, the gameplay, I find it very smooth. So I recommend everybody check that game out. I know it's a very popular game, and pretty much all of you, if not 90% of you, already own it. But check it out. And also check Watch Dogs Legions and also the Tetris game on Game Pass. I've been playing that a lot too. That's a very challenging game and a lot of fun. But enough of what I'm playing. Tell me what you're playing. Go down below. Are you working on your backlog? Are you playing the new games on your PS5 or your Xbox Series X? I'd love to know what everyone's playing, because hey, let's talk about gaming. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember, enjoy your gaming. Later.